Hello everyone, we're back with another installment of Am I the Asshole? If you like hearing Reddit stories, it would really support the channel if you could like or subscribe. Let's dive into our first story right away. Am I the asshole for kicking a pregnant woman out of her seat? Okay, so this happened a few hours ago, and I've only just calmed down because I hate conflict. Basically, I was doing a long travel day, 5-ish hours, so I booked my train in advance to ensure that I had a reserved seat. When I get on the train, a woman is in my seat, so I politely inform her that I think that's my seat, show her my ticket, and ask her to move. She checks her ticket and just says, "Well, I must have sit in the wrong seat," and puts her head down. I say that it's my seat, and could I please sit in it? At this point, her partner sitting opposite her starts speaking at me in what I perceive to be an aggressive tone. He suggests I find another seat, which there are none because it's busy, and I say, but I booked that seat and there are no other available seats in the carriage. He then raises his voice and says, well, someone else is in our seats, and that his missus is pregnant. I say I understand and that I have a heart defect, which I do, and said everyone has their own medical issues and reasons standing for long periods of time might be difficult. And here I could be the asshole. I ask him to not speak to me in an aggressive tone and that I will make a complaint. He then starts swearing at me and I ask him to stop. Eventually the woman gets up and allows me to sit there, and he continues to berate me, saying he hopes I feel good for myself and that I'm quiet now. I have my seat, when really I just stopped engaging, as I felt there was no point. One of the men who was sat beside him offers that him and his partners sit in the seats opposite me. It's a table seat. At which point he sits his partner down and then laughs at me and points in my face. Eventually, when the ticket inspector comes around, they are asked to move her to their assigned seats, and she asks if I'm okay, as another passenger had made a complaint on my behalf. Even so, was I the asshole? Should I have just left them alone, as she was pregnant? And did I in any way escalate the situation? As I don't know how able I'll be to respond to all the comments, thank you sincerely to everyone that has engaged with this post. I've learned a lot about myself and my ability to let anxiety and overthinking get in the way of trusting my decisions. I honestly came into writing this thinking that I escalated the situation. So to have people affirm that it's just standing my ground and that is all right has been really gratifying. It has taught me. However, I have a way to go with standing up for myself and not being such a people pleaser. If I don't get to respond, just know I appreciate your engagement with my post nonetheless, and this has really helped to calm me and give me insight after an incredibly stressful situation. Not the asshole. There's no reason why the husband, as the healthy one, should have stayed in his seat. It's ridiculous that after hearing that you have a heart defect, he didn't get out of his seat and give it to his wife, allowing you to take yours. Even if they couldn't sit in their seats, there was no reason for her to have yours. The husband was being a selfish ass. He then raises his voice and says, well, someone else is in our seats and that his missus is pregnant. So why are you yelling at me and not them? OP in an alternate reality. This was my first thought, someone's in our seats. Okay, well, would you like me to keep your wife company while you go handle that? Or are y'all gonna go over together? Not the asshole. And if her partner was sitting opposite her, why didn't he just stand up and let her have his seat? I don't know why I didn't think about that as a solution. Man, I wish I would have said that instead of any of the other things I said. Am I the asshole for refusing to give my late aunt's heirloom necklace to her daughter? My aunt passed away a few years ago, and before she died, she gave me, 27 female, a beautiful antique necklace that had been in our family for generations. She told me she wanted me to have it because we were extremely close. She knew I'd treasure it, and I have ever since. Now her daughter, Lily, 29 female, is getting married, and last week she asked if she could borrow the necklace as her something old. I said yes at first because I thought it was just for the wedding day, but then she casually mentioned that she actually wanted to keep it permanently. I was confused and asked what she meant, and she said it should have been hers all along, since it belonged to her mother. She said it was unfair that I had it instead of her, and that she deserved it more because she is her daughter. I told her, I thought you just wanted to borrow it. Aunt gave this to me because she wanted me to have it. I'm not giving it away. She got upset and said my aunt was probably just being polite when she gave it to me, and that if she were still here, she would have obviously wanted her own daughter to have it instead. She told me I was being selfish and should do the right thing. Now my mom and a few relatives are saying I should just give it to her because it was her mom's and it would mean a lot to her on her wedding day. But to me, this isn't just some family heirloom. It was a gift meant for me. I understand why she wants it, but my aunt had her reasons for giving it to me. I don't think I should be guilted into handing it over just because Lily suddenly decided she wants it now. Not the asshole. Your aunt chose to give it to you. She could have chosen to save it for her daughter if she wanted to do that instead. As lovely as it would be to lend it for the ceremony, I would be really cautious since she's indicated wanting to keep it and other family members are weighing in. Loaning it for her wedding will make it even more sentimental for your cousin as her wedding jewelry, and she might try to frame it to relatives as you having gifted it to her. You also don't want to go to court over an heirloom if she doesn't give it back, especially since you likely don't have documents around the gift. And even if you win, you may only be awarded a judgment telling her to pay you the value, which means you possibly could only try to enforce her paying you money, not actually giving the sentimental items back, all while tearing apart your family because of the court case. Remember, keeping an item your aunt gifted isn't you making problems. It's her asking you to give up your possession and not taking no for an answer that's causing family drama. That's my worry too. It's not about being petty, it's about protecting what my aunt gave me. I know Lily's upset, but her trying to take it permanently is crossing a line. And you're right, if I just hand it over now, it could be framed as me giving it to her. That would be a mess if I ever wanted it back. I'm just trying to avoid making things more complicated. The simplest is probably politely telling her you don't feel comfortable loaning it to her anymore. But I know that's a hard thing to say to family, though. As for other family members, tell them it's your necklace and the issue is between you and your cousin and not up for discussion. A helpful tip I've come across is Jade. Don't justify, argue, defend, or explain. Just simply set the boundary that it's not topic to involve others in, and then don't engage with it if they try to. Not the asshole. I wouldn't let her borrow it because she will misplace it and you will never see it again. Agree completely and make sure you lock it away so none of your relatives have access to give it to her. Well, that's another episode of Am I the Asshole in the books. I really appreciate all of you who made it this far into the video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel out a lot if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.